News every 15 minutes, weather every 10, and sports twice an hour.
Newstalk, KGVO, AM 1290 and now 101.5 FM.
You're listening to Montana Morning with Peter Christian.
The search for a woman wanted for beating a Ronan daycare worker with a shovel is over. Good morning, it's John King filling in for Peter Christian while he takes some vacation. Your newscast brought to you this morning by Docket Excavating, bringing 30 years of excellence to every job. Call 214-4292 or visit diggettmontana.com. A woman wanted by police in the beating of a Montana daycare owner is now in custody. Lake County Sheriff Dan Bell says that 21-year-old Tashiana Schlensker turned herself into authorities in Polson on Friday evening after a warrant was issued for her arrest. KTMF-TV reports that she is being held in the county jail pending a court hearing. Police earlier arrested Francis Joseph Jackson on a warrant, charging him with aggravated burglary. Police say Ronan daycare owner Martha McClure was severely beaten on October 7th after refusing to hand over 3 children to their drunken father, who did not have legal custody of those children. The crime report from Missoula County Attorney Kirsten Pabst lists 16 new complaints as of last week, including some brutal felonies.
Several really disturbing violent cases, 4 felony domestics that were extremely serious. One was what we would classify as a meth-induced rampage. There was another one where the victim allegedly had her ribs broken and was strangled. A third one in which the victim suffered a broken neck. These are obviously extremely concerning for us.
Pabst says that the courtroom will be busy through November.
We've got a really busy court docket set for November. Currently, as of this morning, we have 58 felony cases set for trial for the month of November. So 58 felonies is a lot. And when you look at like one particular court day, November 8th, there are at least 8 cases set for trial on one day.
Beyond the violent felonies, Pabst says meth use continues to be a driving force behind crime in Missoula. Earlier this month, a 23-month-old child was found wandering Russell Street. The child and his parents tested positive for meth. So far this fire season, the state has spent about $10.5 million fighting wildfires, but the legislature's fiscal division reported this week that the state's wildfire suppression fund has grown to $86.5 million, with just a few bills left to pay. The Bozeman Daily Chronicle reports that this year's balance started at $38.7 million, rolled over from last year, but it was boosted by the $13.4 million left over in the governor's emergency fund. In addition, it received $21.5 million of leftover appropriations and a one-time infusion of $15 million of excess corporate license taxes. It took decades for Montana to adopt a proactive funding process for wildfire suppression. In 2013, the state created a permanent wildfire funding account with a steady stream of cash. More information has turned up after National Transportation Safety Board investigators arrived in Missoula following a fatal plane crash at Missoula International Airport. North Star Jet General Manager Kynan Stethman gave KGVO News a first-hand look at what kind of plane was involved in that crash.
So from what we know, it was a 1940 German aircraft called a Boker Junmeister, and this particular model was a BU-133, a fixed-wing biplane, single-engine aircraft. It was a World War II German trainer, is what they were kind of notorious for. Certain folks in the industry would call them a high-performance trainer, a bi-wing tailwheel aircraft.
Spethman says routine stops for more fuel or even a break to stretch your legs is common among single-engine aircraft pilots, but he says he can't think of any difficulties 52-year-old Patrick Carter may have faced flying this particular plane.
Any airplane, you need to be trained in how to operate. Radial engines are a high-maintenance engine compared to a modern aircraft. There's some high-maintenance items that are associated with a radial engine, but nothing that standard mechanics can't take care of. I really don't have any answers.
The cause for that crash is still under investigation. U.S. Representative Ryan Zinke reports that he raised more than $800,000 for his re-election campaign between July 1st and September 30th, the first time Montana Republican filed his campaign report with the Federal Elections Commission last Thursday. He does not have a Democratic opponent yet for the 2016 election. Zinke raised nearly $724,000 from individuals and $91,500 from political action committees for the quarter. His campaign has enlisted the help of 2 professional fundraising firms, Gula Graham Group and LVH Consulting. The campaign spent $440,000 during the quarter. Zinke also has $211,643 in debts and obligations, with several items listed as win bonuses for individuals and companies that aided in his 2014 campaign. Spokeswoman Heather Swift says Zinke is paying down the rollover debt with consistent quarters of strong support. There are also hints that he may run for Speaker of the House. Over Labor Day weekend, Missoula police officer Pat Ehrbacher fired his weapon into the windshield of a vehicle driven by 24-year-old Anthony Godinez. The investigation has been in the hands of State Criminal Investigation Division. Police spokesman Travis Welsh says Ehrbacher passed an internal investigation with final flying colors.
That internal review has been completed, and as of September the 29th, it was determined that Officer Ehrbacher's actions did not violate policy or state statute, and he has returned to duty status.
Chief Deputy Missoula County Attorney Jason Marks told KGVO that even though the full CID investigation has not been released, he sees no problem with Ehrbacher's actions.
My review of it does not suggest there was anything unjustified about the level of force Officer Ehrbacher used in stopping the car that the suspect was driving. And unfortunately, I can't go into it in a great deal of detail because the criminal case involving that driver is still pending.
Godinez has entered a plea of not guilty.